My favorite postseason memory as a kid was the summer of 1980. I remember my parents took my brother and I on a trip to Philadelphia. And that's when I learned to read a box score, and Phillies were on fire. They get to the World Series.
Well, the Philadelphia Phillies are the world champions.
Just, you know, jumping in the air, putting his hands up, and you see the whole group pile on. So it was that Tug McGraw moment.
Favorite postseason memory growing up, I'm gonna tell you right now, I was in Los Angeles. It was 1988.
And look who's coming up.
I was at Mom's house, Kirk Gibson, homers off Dennis Eckersley, backdoor slider, boom.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
I remember jumping up on our coffee table and broke our coffee table. I was jumping and I was like, wow, dude, this is unbelievable.
In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
It's probably one of my favorites.
The Vince Scully call, everything about it. I can remember where I was seeing that home run from across the restaurant.
I was in an 8th grade dance. I came home, but I can remember like jumping off my couch. You just knew you were watching one of the greatest moments in the history of baseball.
Really, really, really exciting moments that I saw in postseason.
You know, as a kid, I watched it every chance I could on TV. I'd come home from a game and turn on the playoffs. You know, I grew up in Detroit. Grandfather worked for the Tigers. Getting a chance in person to watch them compete in the World Series and ultimately win it. Had the sod that was torn up after they had won. We planted it in the backyard as kind of like a tribute to the Tigers winning the World Series in '84.
As a kid, I think my favorite postseason memory was October 23rd, 1993.
Joe Carter hitting that walk-off home run to win the World Series.
Now the 2-2. Well hit down the left field line. Way back in.
That's exactly what I dreamt about doing, just hitting that home run and win it all with one swing of the bat.
Hitting that walk-off home run still ingrained in my mind, probably forever ingrained.
Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. In 1989, Greg Maddux was on the mound saying, fastball inside. Will Clark reads his lips and boom, a grand slam. I talked to Will about that grand slam when he was working as a special instructor for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he told me as he was rounding the bases, he could hear his feet hit the dirt. 18 years later, I was playing for the Arizona Diamondbacks in the playoffs, and I hit a home run off of Carlos Marmol. Here I was listening to my feet hit the ground, and all I could think about was Will Clark.
The number one for me,
Carlton Fisk, the Green Monster, against the Cincinnati Reds.
There it goes, the long drive. If it stays fair.
Stay fair.
stay fair.
Trying to convince that ball to stay fair. I thought the coolest moment.
It was amazing. Oh, incredible.
I grew up in Chicago, and I had 2 teams to root for. But you shift over to the north side, and the Cubs back in '84, you got a shot to go to the World Series.
Ground ball hit the dirt right through his leg.
I remember the tears, asking my dad, how did he miss that ball?
Here it is, 1979. Pittsburgh Pirates, Baltimore Orioles, they're in the World Series. It was a great time for us as a family.
I was 11 years old to watch the '86 Mets go on their run with Dykstra and Wally Backman.
Game 5 of the 1973 LCS. I was a Met fan growing up. Me and my 2 brothers sitting in the upper deck at Shea Stadium in right field. I remember it vividly. I remember being on my dad's shoulders, and wow.
Brooks Robinson's backhand play, throws it across the diamond, bounces on the carpet to get Lee May. And we snuck out of our class. We went down to the janitor's office, and he was sitting down there with a little TV, and we were peeking in and watching the game. Coolest moment ever.